Alrighty. Alrighty. It is Friday. Friday. Let's go. Not a whole lot going on. I mean, okay, that's not true. There's a lot going on and a lot of stuff we're gonna talk about and get to today, but not a lot going on for me personally. Just kind of getting through, doing the things, and trying to stay awake. So I'm very tired all the time. Not a good time. Not a good time. Um yeah. All right. Um First thing we're going to get into, I guess, is like the big news story of the day, which is Trump posting a racist video of the Obamas. And I gotta be honest with you, I'm so desensitized to this shit at this point. Like, I don't even know. You know, it's like there's a part of me that very much is still like, this is shitty, this is racist, I'm outraged at this, but at the same time it's like, this is the same man who accused Haitians of eating cats and dogs. He said, you know, whatever, however awful things about Somalis and that kind of thing. And so it's just like, yeah, of course he posted a fucking racist ass meme of the Obamas. And honestly, this is one of those instances where it's like, sometimes racism is, it's like almost funny. Okay, and I'm a black person. I'm a black woman. Let me make that very clear as I say this. But there is something so fucking elementary school about putting the Obamas fucking heads on gorillas. It's so childish. It's so unevolved that all I can do is like laugh at it. I can't even be that like riled up and angry at it because it's just so, it's just so subpar. Like, you couldn't even come up with a little bit more complicated racism than that. You just had to go, haha, gorilla. Like, it's silly. It's so stupid. But it was interesting because I guess some Republicans even spoke out against this shit, so we'll see about that shit as well. There's a lot to sort of get into. Aside from that, what else do I have on the docket here? Uh oh, a little bit about the Nancy Guthrie, because I've been following that case, that developing story, mostly just because, I mean, it's a news story and I'm interested in it. What else can I say? So, but then looking into that, we also have Ethan Klein on Pierce Morgan, because I didn't get into that the other day, but we can do that today, hopefully, if I feel up to it. Maybe some Candace Owens and some other things as well. But that's it for the most part. For the most part, it is, you know, some news and, you know, just gonna chill. Just chill out tonight. It's just gonna be a chill night, doing whatever. Maybe we'll do some doom scrolling. We can go on Twitter or something. Hmm. Connor Eats Pants is so fucking funny, dude. He's a menace. Look at this shit. Don't give an inch ever, Dan Bongino. Connor, would love if you'd give an. I can't even. Would love if you'd give a couple inches to my wife, Dan. She'd love it too. Now, Connor. Now, Connor. Now, Connor. Also, yeah, Trump deleted he deleted the video apparently, which is shocking, surprised, but he's not like relenting on it at all. He's still out here being like, "No, I posted that shit. I posted that shit and there's nothing you can do about it." Once again, I must say, AI fucking sucks, dude. This is once again a result of generative AI making this shit too accessible for the worst ass motherfuckers. Once again, if Donald Trump wanted to do this and we did not have generative AI, he would have to pay somebody. He would have to pay an artist. He would have to pay literally another human being to make this shit. And they would have to sit down and take the time to do it. And that barrier of entry alone is enough to dissuade someone like Donald Trump. Is enough to make them go, that's not worth the energy. I'm just saying. You like compare this shit to the first Trump administration when AI was not as popular, was not as popping. We did not see this shit. There was also a little bit of shame left in this society, I think, but that's a whole other topic. But we did not see this shit. All right. I've put it off long enough, I guess. We should just get into it. We should just get into it. And we can talk about this a little bit. All right, cool.
And the White House is responding to criticism.
Alrighty, here we go. We're gonna watch this shit. Let's see what the news has to say about Donald Trump posting a video of the Obamas. If you have not seen, actually, hold on. If you've not seen the video, I'm not gonna fucking play it. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to play that shit. I don't feel like looking that shit up. You can find it on your own if you would like to see this stupid ass video. It's not even like funny, but their excuse has been it was a play on The Lion King. And I don't know about y'all, but I've never seen a gorilla in The Lion King. Maybe I'm wrong. It's been a while since I've seen The Lion King, but alas, I don't recall a gorilla. Maybe he meant Tarzan. Maybe he meant Tarzan. Maybe he meant Tarzan. There's a lot of gorillas in Tarzan. Do we think Donald Trump confused Tarzan with The Lion King? Or I guess Caroline Leavitt, since she was the one who threw that excuse out there. Is that possible? Is that like a probability? It could happen. You never know. I could see it. He's confused other things. They've fucked up other things. Maybe she meant to say Tarzan. But since it's Caroline Leavitt and she's a disaster, she said The Lion King when she meant to say Tarzan because that's all I can think of. Maybe she was trying to throw out a quick answer and she said The Lion King instead of, Tarzan, where there are gorillas, lots of gorillas. Although I guess it wouldn't really fit the rest of the film, but that's rest of the video, but that's a whole other topic as well. I just think it's ridiculous and a little funny. I can't lie to you. I still think it's funny. Like, Like, I don't know. Oh, hold on. Oh, I did not set that up yet. I can do that right now, real quick. Give me a second. I gotta do something. Hold on. But yeah, I still can't help but think it's a little funny. It's just such rudimentary racism. It's like bottom of the barrel. You couldn't even put an ounce of thought into this process. And at this point in my life, I need you to do something spicy, you know? I need you to spice it up. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. I've seen so much racism, especially against black women on Twitter at this point, that you gotta spice it up. You gotta give something that really shines, that really pops. Okay. 1 second. Let's see here. Here. And down there. I should have done this before I started the stream, but I wasn't thinking. I'm back on my old computer. And I have this, I've not done this yet. What are you yelling at me for now? We'll do like that. Sure. Troubleshooting on stream. Give me a second. I should have done this off stream, but I'm a disaster. And I forgot. Where you at, homie? There you at, homie. Is it red last time? Okay, get it red. We'll do red. Right there. Alrighty, let's get back to it. Trump is racist. I'm supposed to be shocked and surprised at the racism that Trump has exhibited today, and yet I am not. I can only bring myself to laugh once again, because what am I supposed to say, dude? Like, what am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say about Donald Trump and his bullshit? I don't know, and frankly, I don't want to know.
Criticism after President Trump posted a video that includes a racist meme depicting former President Obama and his wife Michelle as apes. Now the Senate's only black Republican senator is responding and calling out the White House. ABC's Jay O'Brien's here with more on that. Hi, Jay, what's the latest?
Yeah, Diane, just moments ago, the video was deleted from President Trump's account, and it comes after a growing chorus of Republican lawmakers called on the White House to take the race.
Like, I guess like we found the limit for Republicans is just calling the Obamas gorillas. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess. Like, it's bad. It's bad. Like, I'm not like, it's bad, but like he's done a lot of bad things, and it's just it's kind of interesting to watch people get really upset about this. And it's like, okay, this is the same man who said Haitians were eating cats and dogs. That was objectively like more harmful of a rhetoric to put forward, of a thing to say and do, than posting this video of the Obamas, which is still very bad and really fucked up. Even though it's so fucking childish and rudimentary and just baseline that I can't help but laugh at it. Again, I've seen more evolved fucking racism against black women on Twitter than this fucking video. So I don't know. Like, the harm level is like, yeah, it's fucked up, but like literally kidnapping people off the street, you know? Just, what do we do? What do we do? Where do we, what? Like, if this is what it takes for y'all to wake up, all right, cool, well, it's fine. We'll do it. I'll take it.
Racist image down, including, as you say, Senator Tim Scott, who posted the image in addition to his post. ABC is not showing the image, but we are showing you the post, and it says, quote, praying it was fake because it's the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. The president should remove it. The racist image comes at the end of a minute-long video the president posted.
Like, praying it was fake. Bro, this man said Haitians were eating cats and dogs. Does that just not register to you as racist? Like, he's called like all the Somalis in Minneapolis and Minnesota like deplorable, awful people. Is that not racist enough for you? It took the Obamas. Again, I don't know. I just it all right. No, all right. It's all right. It's okay.
On his social media platform, the first 59 seconds describe debunk election.
Like, this is not the most racist thing from this White House. I don't know what to say. It's incredibly racist. It's incredibly stupid, but it's not the most racist thing this White House has said or done. I mean, I guess you could argue the Haitian immigrants thing was before he was back in the White House, so maybe he's discounting that incident because of that, but I doubt it.
Conspiracy theories from 2020, and at the end, the video suddenly cuts to an animated meme showing the Obamas' faces on the bodies of apes. The NAACP is out with a statement saying, in part, quote, Donald Trump's video is blatantly racist, disgusting, and utterly despicable, end quote. That again from the NAACP. Images of black people as apes have been used throughout American history to dehumanize them. Slave traders and segregationists use these types of images to depict black.
Like, I love how they're trying to defend this shit, and it's like, there's no defense. Like, there's no there's no parody or satire that he could be making that justifies putting the heads of two black people on apes, you know? Like, You don't, even if it's like, oh, it's a joke, it's a parody of this thing. Okay, that's still pretty fucked up, brother. It's still pretty messy, still pretty shitty. You know, still pretty racist. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Just because it's a parody doesn't mean it's not racist.
Black people as inferior, and at times it's led to violence. Initially, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said in a statement, quote, "This is from an internet meme depicting President Trump as the king of the jungle and Democrats as characters from The Lion King. Please stop the fake
Characters from The Lion King." Yes, the famous gorillas of The Lion King. Again, did she mean to say Tarzan? Because there are a lot of gorillas in Tarzan. Did she mean to say Tarzan? Caroline Bestie, did you mean to say Tarzan? It's okay if you meant to say Tarzan. I know Trump is dressed as like a lion, but you know, there are predators in Tarzan. They kill his parents at the beginning.
outrage and reports on something today that actually matters to the American public," end quote. But again, since that statement, the video now appears to have been deleted, and the White House is now saying from an anonymous staffer, quote, that they erroneously made the post. The video that Leavitt described in that initial statement I just played for you was originally shared on Facebook last October by the Hardin County Republican Party of Kentucky. The chairman of that group issued an apology at the time and deleted the original post after backlash. And again, a number of Republican lawmakers.
Dude, what the hell? They're just posting this shit and then being like, oopsie daisies, my bad. Didn't mean to post that. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. You okay? All right.
Makers are reacting to this. Another is Republican Congressman Mike Lawler. He's posting, quote, "The president's post is wrong and incredibly offensive, whether intentional or a mistake, and it should be deleted immediately with an apology offered." The Obamas have not commented on the video at this point, Diane.
All right, Jay O'Brien, thank you.
I mean, what are they gonna...
We are just fine.
What are they gonna say? 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 I did have this also. I've got some more videos on this, but I think we'll skip John.
But what the president has done is gone
Al Green here, my goat.
beyond racial profiling. This is racism. This is raw rank racism when the president of the United States of America, who knows...
My goat, man, my goat. Watch out for this man in that cane. He will beat your ass.
Or should know the history of this country and how persons have used this image of persons of African ancestry to be associated with persons who are members of the monkey family. For the president to do this and to do it openly and notoriously is showing that he condones this level of racism.
Lamentablemente Texas no está protegiendo a sus ciudadanos. Y tenemos que hacer algo.
This racist image that we saw that came from the president's social media account is just another reminder of how much work needs to be done to combat centuries-old racist images and stereotypes about Black people, and how we have to continue to affirm our dignity, our humanity, and also celebrating our accomplishments.
Those who tolerate racism perpetuate racism. We have a duty, a responsibility, and an obligation to let the president know that this is not only unacceptable, it is something that is objectionable, and that we will stand against him.
I mean, yeah, it's good, I guess. I like to see them kick up a fuss. I wish they kicked up a fuss more often. I wish they got feisty more often. I wish they were more willing to get into the muck and duke it out especially on things that really matter, especially when Donald Trump's approval ratings are in the shitter and things are going poorly for him. I wish they were more willing to, do the old 1-2, but I'll take what I can get, I guess.
Hello, everyone. I'm Major Garrett in Washington.
All right, Trump's racist repost of Obama's gets Republican pushback. Let's see what kind of Republican pushback this got. I don't actually know.
Welcome to The Takeout. Dow Jones Industrial Average today closed above 50,000 for the first time ever. Yes, a handful of popular prescription. You know, of that video, there is a clip depicting former President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama as apes. Before I get to what happened next, let me say this. We debated how to handle this for quite some time today. Do we share the video, short and vile as it is, or do we show just one frame? And does limiting this to one frame in any way lessen the inherent cruelty? How, we wonder, do we have a conversation during Black History Month, no less, about this?
God, woke is so back. Woke is so back. Woke is so back. Oh my God, woke is so back, bro. How do we have a conversation during Black History Month? No. This is why I love Black History Month. It makes white people act crazy, dog. This is why I love Black History Month. Everyone just breaks out their woke card and it's just so fucking hilarious. I love Black History Month. Like, unironically, I love it so fucking much. I'm trying to do a video about Black History Month, sort of, and about like a specific for Black History Month. And part of it, I want to talk about how I do genuinely enjoy Black History Month. It is it might actually be my favorite part of the year. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it might actually be like my favorite kind of like holiday-y type of thing. It's not really a holiday, but I genuinely love it. It's so funny. No, that was incredible. Can we get that again? Can we get that again, please?
How, we wonder, do we have a conversation during Black History Month, no less, about this spasm of social media sewage?
During Black History Month, no less. Ah! Woke is so back. I love it. 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 Like crack cocaine right into my fucking veins. Give it to me, please.
The proper context. How do we build an intelligent conversation around one of these questions that asserts itself? Is there going to be long-lasting political damage or effects from all this? As you might imagine.
No, there is not going to be, which is crazy, actually, because there was a time in my life when this would have been like a career ender. There was a time in my life, in my short life on this planet, there was a time when this would have been a serious big deal for someone's political career. Like, this is blatant racism. No questions asked. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, you know? You can't even, like, even though Elon Musk's Nazi salute was also just blatant, right? It is just like, you can't even play it off as like, well, maybe he was doing something else. Like, you can't. It's just it's 100% racism to the bottom, top, bottom, back, front, all the way through. So there was a time when this kind of shit would actually damage your career, would actually damage your public would actually damage your public like presence, your public appearance, your public position. And yet here we are.
Booking a conversation like that brings its own challenges. There's social media courage, then there's TV courage. There was more this day of the former than the latter. But as ever, we will do our best. Now, let's get to the what happened next part, because it may mark in the arc of Trump's second term something of a watershed. Republicans who dared speak about this used unflinching terms to denounce the repost. South Carolina Republican Tim Scott, an ally of the Trump White House, said this: praying it was fake because it's the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. The president should remove it. Note the phrase, the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House, meaning by any fair interpretation that it sits atop of list of racist things Senator Scott has noticed before. A small GOP cascade then followed.
You know what? That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. That's a good ass point, my friend. But also just like, I can't even. I mean, I expect I didn't point it out. I didn't like think about it because it's just expected, I guess, for me from this guy who's a Republican that he has seen the racist things and just didn't care. So, but that's a fair point.
New York Congressman Mike Lawler, incredibly offensive. Mississippi Senator Roger Wicker, totally unacceptable. Nebraska Senator Pete Ricketts, a reasonable person sees the racist context. Maine Senator Susan Collins, appalling. At first, the White House, through Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, mocked inquiring reporters as peddlers of fake outrage. But this time-tested Trumpian retort, so frequently resilient, crumbled under the weight of its own indefensibility.
Oh man! All right. Well, that's enough of that. But goddamn.
Breaking news.
Okay, so I don't know if y'all have been keeping up with this Nancy Guthrie. What's her name? Savannah Guthrie's mother. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know nothing about Savannah Guthrie. I know she's a news person of some sort. Also, I know Trump got involved, so she can't be like openly a she can't be openly a Democrat. I don't know what she is, but if Trump is getting involved and posting that, we're gonna help out, we're gonna help them find her mother, then I know that she has not openly said fuck Trump. If she had openly said fuck Trump, he would not have been offering his services, offering the services of the FBI. So I don't know what she is or who she is or anything about her other than her mother has been probably kidnapped, it looks like. I don't know why they've kind of like been weird about saying that she's been kidnapped, but it seems pretty clear that she has been kidnapped. And from what I understand, there's been ransom notes, but the validity of those has been called into question. The FBI is now involved. They left the home of like where the mother lived, and then they went back like after like a day or so to look at stuff, which I don't know, that seemed a little weird to me, but I'm not this is very much my armchair analysis here. I am not a expert in any of this sort of shit. I am very much just a person who is interested to see where this ends. I mean, I hope that they find her alive, obviously. The biggest concern right now, I think, is that her medication was not taken with her, and she needs that medication, obviously, to live and be healthy. So the concern is that she is without medication for her heart and that kind of thing. So, yeah, other than that, they did a kind of like plea to the kidnappers from the kids. So, but yeah. Yep. Yeah. All right, let's take a look.
In Arizona, investigators are examining a new message related to the possible abduction of Nancy Guthrie. The 84-year-old mother of Savannah Guthrie disappeared from her home 6 days ago. A ransom demand shared with the FBI earlier this week contained an initial deadline for Thursday and a second one for Monday. A statement released by the Pima County Sheriff reads, quote, "The FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Department are aware of a new message regarding Nancy Guthrie. Investigators are actively inspecting the information provided in the message for its authenticity." Now, no details yet from authorities on the contents of that message, but it comes after Savannah Guthrie's shared a video of her brother Cameron urging whoever took Nancy to contact the family. Now, CBS News correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti is live in Tucson, Arizona. He's been there since day one. Jonathan, tell us what we know right now and also how this new piece of information really changes the investigation.
Yeah, Juliet, that second message was sent earlier this morning by email to the local CBS affiliate here in Tucson. They quickly reviewed it and passed it off to the FBI, who in that joint statement with the Sheriff's Department confirmed receipt of it and that they're now working to validate it. As you mentioned, they did not disclose the contents within, and it is unclear if it is linked to that ransom note that was emailed to the same local affiliate on Monday night. We do know yesterday in a press conference, the FBI confirming they are taking it seriously. Specific details were contained within, including an Apple Watch located within the home. But notably, there was no form of communication, no way for anyone to reach back out. That's why over the past 2 days, we've heard from the Guthries, including Savannah Guthrie, in those emotional posts pleading to the author of that note to get in touch. You also mentioned those two deadlines. We must stress them because yesterday, the first deadline passed. The second deadline is now on Monday. It is unclear the exact terms and conditions that must be met. Juliet?
Yeah, so what are investigators doing right now following this new piece of information?
Yeah, just moments ago, sheriff deputies here, they closed down the street in front of Nancy Guthrie's homes, telling me that detectives are now coming in to search the property yet again. I say yet again because this is now the third time this week they have returned to the property. What they're searching for.
Like, I don't know if that's normal. Is that normal? To go back to a crime scene 3 times to search it in a week? That feels like weird to me. I don't know like what that could be about. Other than they either don't have anything to go on and they're hoping to find something again. Like they're going back to like try and find something, or I guess like they've been tipped off that there's something that they should be looking for specifically and they're trying to find it. But I don't know what else could have them going back when like multiple times in a week like that. I mean, I guess it could be normal. I'm not sure. Maybe if it's normal, then I'd like to know like why they do that. Like why does that happen? I guess it's just like, you know, how it works, how it plays out, but I don't know. It just seems weird to me. But I'm guessing it's not normal because they keep talking about it. They keep like mentioning it. So I'm gonna guess it's not normal.
If this is in any way connected to that message at this hour is unclear as we enter day 6. I spoke with the sheriff earlier today. You could hear in his voice how frustrated he was, saying many of their leads have gone cold, specifically surveillance cameras at the home. They were not working at the time. Nothing was recorded. The sheriff sat down with an interview with the Associated Press, where he went into more detail. Take a listen.
We get information from these labs or tech companies that are doing us a lot of work, and it creates questions for us. And it's like, well, wait a minute, this isn't what we were told. We thought it was this. And so now we have to go back and confirm what they're telling us, or what man, I wish technology was as easy as we believe it is, that here's a picture, here's your bad guy. But it's not.
And now going back to my conversation that I had with the sheriff earlier today, he said a significant point of interest in this investigation is how the abductor or abductors accessed that home. I asked if they forced themselves in. He would not disclose that. I asked why. He said it is a critical component to this investigation. As of now,
I don't know. I mean, I know that like the cameras were smashed. There were like 2 cameras outside the house that were smashed, which to me again feels like somebody, I guess. Like I don't want to like speculate too much obviously, but I don't know. I think that the sheriff department or whatever is kind of unsurprisingly maybe beans this up a little bit. I guess we'll see overall how this goes, but or how this sort of continues, but in the end, like how things sort of play out. But it does seem like they've maybe scuffed this investigation a little bit. Again, I think it's weird that they've gone back like 3 times in a week, less than a week, to like look at the crime scene. But only because they keep mentioning that. They keep bringing that up. So I don't know if that's normal or not. Anyway, I just think this is all very very weird. Because I think it's really hard to like kidnap an old woman like this, especially one who needs like medication and he has like sort of mobility issues and that kind of thing. So I am interested in this sort of story, I guess, and to see where obviously I hope they find her like alive and shit. It's gotta be fucking devastating to like have your mother just go missing like that.
there is no known suspect or person of interest. He tells me they have not ruled anyone out. Juliet.
Jonathan Vigliotti. Jonathan, thank you. I want to bring in Kirk Burkhalter, a former NYPD detective and New York Law School criminal law professor. So, Kirk, your mind must just be buzzing right now, thinking of so many different scenarios. If you were on this case, and I'm sure you are actively in your own right, what would you be doing right now in terms of this message?
Certainly, and you're right, I'm actively on it in my own mind, of course. But with this message, you know, the sheriff, I think, is operating quite prudently by keeping information close to the vest, because with each message, there has to be an attempt to verify the authenticity of the messages, not only each message, but to determine if the various messages are connected to the same senders. And that may be the reason why we see investigators returning to the home in an attempt to verify different portions of information. I think nothing is off the table, including that this may have been an abduction of opportunity, right? It may have been someone attempting to burglarize the home, commit some form of larceny, take property, and did not expect the victim to be there, and it was a crime of opportunity. I think nothing is off the table here.
Okay. I mean, I guess, but like, it just seems to me that seems... I don't know. I'm not going to pretend that I understand the mind of someone, I guess, who is breaking into someone's house and then considers kidnapping them. But I'm going to be honest. I do think that would not be my decision. I am more likely to just flee the premises if I find out that there's somebody there who I was not expecting. Kidnapping them is like a bigger crime. And especially if something happens to them in my, while they are in my sort of care. And this woman is like 80 something. So I don't know. It just, I feel like it was someone who deliberately went there to kidnap her. But that's that, take that for what you will. I have no information on this aside from what we have seen.
And my heart goes out to the investigators because, as he mentioned, the public is used to a certain level of closure because of technology. but it doesn't always work that way. It's not like what we see on television or in the movies.
Yeah, that's so true. So the Pima County Sheriff gave really no details about what the message said. So why release a statement at all?
Like, okay, sure, but also we live in a fucking like police state at this point, my guy. Like there are cameras everywhere. You're telling me we got nothing? We got jack shit? Like that's new. That's a first. That doesn't happen these days very often. That's like a once in a blue moon activity these days.
What is the strategy behind that? What do negotiators want to signal to the person who sent this message?
Well, I think first and foremost, negotiators and the law enforcement authorities want to in some way signal the willingness to communicate, to open up a dialogue, and to obtain some form of proof of life. That is extremely important. And second, I think it's helpful to keep the public apprised in some way, shape, or form as to how the investigation is going. You can't just have a complete news blackout in matters like this, and certainly when this is such a high-profile person. But the primary purpose now, I think, or our goal, is to generate some form of dialogue.
So the initial ransom demand was sent via email to a local news station. So depending on how this message was sent, could it be traced back to the sender?
It certainly could be. We have the technology to do so. However, where is the sender sending it from? You know, quite often you'll trace these emails and they go back to, you know, a country overseas. Could be someone obtaining some type of phone that has internet access and then throwing the phone and the SIM card away. There are just so many ways to mask one's email address. I would suspect if someone was sending this email from their home, the FBI and all the law enforcement agencies involved would have knocked at their door already. So it's a high possibility that even though it's traceable, that may not lead investigators back to the actual offenders.
And given where we are right now, day 6, are you able to gauge the level of expertise, possibly in technology and in how they did this crime, a rating of where they are in terms of their own manpower and their own strategies?
Meaning if we're talking about the abductors, you know, it's hard to say, but my gut feeling is that they didn't have this planned out completely, right? So they're communicating with, or attempting to communicate, if this is them, with different outlets. They didn't provide the proof of life. Even their demands are quite vague. Usually someone that would make this effort, take this risk for such a serious crime is going to plan this out, plan out the method of communication and so forth. So maybe
I think the ransom notes just aren't connected. Like, I think it's just like someone, you know, I don't know, just like wanting to get involved in it or doing bullshit. I don't know why. Like his gut feeling is that, you know, it's whatever. My gut feeling is that the ransom notes are not connected. It's two separate entities here. That's my gut feeling. But yeah, I don't know. It's just fucking crazy. Again, I feel like this is just a difficult thing to do given the circumstances. Given like do it and like get away with it. Given like the circumstances, given who you're taking, the sort of modern technology involved, and the question of like not taking her medication, so who knows how her health is at this point, and that kind of thing. So I don't know. Oof.
a bit of amateur hour here.
All right, well, we'll stay on top of this as I know you will too. Kirk Burkhalter, thank you so much. We'll circle back with you and continue to follow this. We start with breaking news in Arizona. Investigators are examining a new message related to the possible abduction of Nancy Guthrie. The 84-year-old mother of Savannah Guthrie disappeared from her home 6 days ago. A ransom demand shared with the FBI earlier this week contained an initial deadline for Thursday and a second one for Monday. No details yet from authorities on the contents of that new message, but it comes after Savannah Guthrie shared a video of her brother Cameron urging whoever took Nancy to contact the family. CBS News correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti is in Tucson, Arizona with the latest on the investigation.
Tonight, the FBI and Pima County Sheriff are reviewing what's being characterized as a new message in Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. In a joint statement, they say investigators are actively inspecting the information provided in the message for its authenticity. This comes as the Guthrie family has been pleading for communication. On Thursday, the FBI confirmed it was taking an unverified ransom note seriously. It demanded payment in Bitcoin and set two deadlines, one that passed yesterday, but left no way of reaching out.
We need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward.
It is unclear whether the two forms of communication are connected. It's been nearly a week since Guthrie disappeared, and new today, the sheriff tells me they're being cautious about revealing how the home was entered.
How do you think that the abductor may have entered the home? Was it through the front door?
You know, I'm not going to talk about entry or exit. That's a key portion of this case.
So are you saying there was no sign of forced entry?
I'm not saying either. We've not said whether it's forced or unforced.
Let me ask you, why would you not put that out?
Well, because it's critical to the case.
It is still unknown who took.
It's critical to the case. Like, I mean, I get it. You don't want to, like, put out too much information. I imagine, especially in a case where you're dealing with ransom notes and that kind of thing, you probably want to try and keep as much information close to your chest that you can verify who's actually saying, like, who actually is, you know, possibly involved. Because if you put out, like, oh, it was forced entry, now it's like everybody knows it was forced entry. And so it doesn't really matter if that person mentions forced entry in their ransom note, but if it's not like public information and they mention it, then that's like a way to sort of connect the dots there. So I get it from that point of view, but at the same time, it's like, go on, girl, give us nothing. Like, this shit. I do believe that this is one of, like, this is like a weird thing that I feel like contributes to conspiracy theories. It's just like law enforcement and shit not giving out information, even when it's like possibly a good reason or probably a good reason not to. It's just, we've seen how this feeds into that sort of bullshit environment. It's just like, I don't know what the remedy is to that, but fuck.
Nancy Guthrie.
Because there's already a bunch of people being out, like, having like all sorts of conspiracy theories on who's involved in the kidnapping or why they did it, or they're like, Savannah Guthrie kidnapped her mother. It's like, okay, guys, let's take a deep breath here. Let's calm down. Let's chill out for a moment. Yeah, it's just no, right, exactly. So go on, girl. Janet. Yeah.
What I look at is, do you have anybody in front of you that you go, wow, this is the guy? We don't. Nobody's ruled out. Nobody's ruled out.
Nobody's ruled out yet at this point.
According to the updated timeline law enforcement released on Thursday, there was about a 41-minute window from the time the doorbell camera disconnected to when Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker app disconnected from her phone left behind. Within this time frame, software detected movement at 2:12 a.m., but it wasn't recorded. Sheriff Nanos has remained in touch with the family.
They're devastated. It's their mom. They're hurting. Are they doing as best they can? I hope so.
Today, the sheriff also highlighted his frustration with the lack of video evidence in Nancy's case. Investigators say cameras captured motion the night she vanished, but Nancy did not have a subscription, and the company says it cannot recover that video.
we get information from these labs or tech companies that
That's kind of crazy to me. They don't have like a server where they save that shit even for like, I don't know, like a week or something. They just don't save that shit at all. Just no footage whatsoever. What is the point? What is the goddamn point? Why do we even have these cameras? I know there are other reasons to have them, but like even like a day, like 72 hours, you know? Store that shit for like 72 hours or something.
that are doing us a lot of work, and it creates questions for us. And it's like, well, wait a minute, this isn't what we were told. We thought it was this. And so now we have to go back and confirm what they're telling us, or what man, I wish technology was as easy as we believe it is, that here's a picture, here's your bad guy. But it's not.
I want to bring in Doug Coons, founder and CEO of Veracity and former special agent and supervisory special agent of the FBI. So, Doug, what do you make of this latest message regarding Nancy Guthrie, and what would you do if you were on the case?
It's another message. Again, it has to go through the verification process or authentication, and so the tech people are looking, I'm assuming it's coming in through an email of some sort. Did it come in through an intermediary? Did it come directly? Was a VPN used? Is there any metadata that can be exploited? Looking at all that kind of thing to see not only is this an authentic ransom note, but is it consistent with the previous one? That although it looked like it was probably authentic based on what I've read and seen on TV, that there were still some questions about it. They've gotten a couple of hoax messages in the interim. Those people have been caught. And I think, the bad guys are watching the news too. They see these things. They see how quickly that law enforcement is on to the people that send the hoaxes. They're very scared to send messages. That's a vulnerability, and there's a risk involved every time they communicate. And it seems like they're smart enough to be limiting that. But unfortunately for them, there has to be a dialogue for this to work out the way they want it to. And it's probably just not going like they thought it would.
So the Pima County Sheriff's Department says investigators are now conducting a follow-up. This is day 6. They're back at that.
So like, I can't tell. Have they confirmed that there is that one of the ransom notes was real? Hold on. Let's see if we can't. Because I don't know. Because there was one that listed the deadlines, and I know that they've gotten multiple, and so I think some of them have been fake. But I guess the one that demanded payment in Bitcoin might be real, and that gave them the deadlines they think is real, I guess. It seems like that's what they're going with. I can't tell if they think it's real or if they're just going with it out of, an abundance of caution kind of thing, or if it's something that they actually think is legit. Because it seems to me like it might be out of caution. In case it is real. They're yeah, let's just let's kind of go along with it. Weird.
The house. What might they be looking for?
Clues that were missed, probably a fresh set of eyes. There's been a lot of new data that's come in over these 6 days or whatever it's been now. Just go.
Okay. I guess, but I think that's weird because they have roped off they've unroped Like they've taken like the rope off. Like they've taken the tape down. People have been up to the house and stuff now. So if they're there for new evidence, is it not contaminated at this point? Like people have been, I don't know if the family has like gone inside the house, but people have definitely been up to like the porch and shit. Like we've seen people be up on the porch because they went up and like filmed the blood that was still there. So if they're there for new clues, I don't know. I don't understand how the police work. I don't understand how this shit works. I didn't go to school for this. I am a citizen bystander. Don't mind me.
Back, fresh set of eyes, look at everything, look at what might have been missed, look again in the trash cans, look for evidence that perhaps more of a mess had been cleaned up prior to leaving. Look in ditch areas, any kind of retention ponds where something might have been thrown. I always do when investigating is just really try to put yourself in the shoes of the bad guys. What went into the planning and preparation to do this? And once you figure out what those things might have been, how can I backtrack? How can I reverse engineer that and figure out what supplies might they have bought to do this and where might they have bought them? You just kind of, when your leads are getting cold, you've got to step back and maybe bring in some more people, take another look at it, and do all of these things, no matter how minute they may seem and important. You never know what little thing might break this. A hair, a piece of trace evidence, a footprint. There's so much to consider. A video that was missed. People might be on vacation and they haven't had a chance to look at their own Ring cameras that may have caught something. The time of night that this happened, there probably isn't typically a lot of movement in that neighborhood at that time. So any kind of movement that could be then, get a direction, and perhaps it passed a business with a better camera somewhere down the line. But you just keep on digging, you just keep on trying until it gets resolved.
Yeah, absolutely. Doug Coons, thank you so much for your insight. Appreciate it.
We're here to worship.
Okay. This is fucking Ethan Klein on Piers Morgan. You can take a look at this for a little bit. Just a bit here.
About that, Piers.
I'm on the road to recovery. Yeah.
So, wait a second. I did have
Good Wish H3 podcast, Ethan Klein, and the host. It's remembering the difference between right and wrong. Well, joining me to discuss
what is this about? Like, what are we talking about?
This won't end well. There's a simple way to break the cycle, and we also learn that when we're 5 years old. To defend the prosecution of Don Lemon. What about the conservative journalists who were arrested for filming on January the Central Command? I used to hear MAGA pundits saying it about Joe Biden's team, as they called him a super fit Mensa genius with 100 years to live. Now it's all over liberal media because of the Epstein files and because of the disastrous effort to smear Alex Pretty and Renee Good. It was wrong for Biden to claim his opponents were all dangerous domestic terrorists. It's now wrong to make the same claim about everyone protesting against ICE. And the same goes for the many people using gleeful whataboutery to defend the prosecution of Don Lemon. What about the conservative journalists who were arrested for filming on January the 6th? What about the protesters who were convicted for praying at an abortion clinic? What about the lawfare against President Trump? Yes, that was wrong. That doesn't make it right to do it all again, not least because it will, as it did before, inevitably backfire. America's getting trapped in a vicious circle started by Biden, in which presidents take 4-year turns in executing revenge and pardoning their mates because the other guy did it first. This won't end well. There's a simple way to break the cycle, and we also learn that when we're 5 years old. It's remembering the difference between right and wrong. Well, joining me to discuss all of this is Brian Shapiro, host of Pushing the Limits, the former Illinois governor, Rod Blagojevich, the host of the H3 podcast, Ethan Klein, and the host of The Benny Show, Benny Johnson. Welcome to all of you.
Why did he jump like that? Did you see that? There's such a delayed reaction too. Like I'm sure there's like a delay in the video, but also Benny Johnson is here.
Good wishes about my Rod Blagojevich, the host of the H3
Watch
podcast,
him.
Ethan Klein, and
Like, why did he do that? Is he okay?
host of The Benny Show, Benny Johnson. Welcome to all of you. Okay, Benny, welcome back to Uncensored, and thank you for your good wishes about my little encounter with a step that led to quite unbelievable amount of damage to my hip. But that has all been
I'm very
repaired.
sorry about that, Piers.
I'm on the road to recovery. Yeah.
So,
thank
wait a
you.
second. I did have a question for you. You didn't answer this. You didn't answer this when I texted you. Are you experiencing that NHS, that quality NHS service back in the UK, or are you stateside in private care?
No, I was here, but I have private health insurance, which I made the most of. I would say about the NHS that when it's good, it's great. And if you, Benny Johnson, come to London and you fall like I did and you break your femur and you need a new hip, you know what you won't get? You'll get great treatment and you won't get somebody hovering over you demanding thousands of dollars.
Wow. Based Piers Morgan for once in his life. I mean, he's right. He's right. Because, like, it covers everybody. It covers, even you, Benny Johnson, who would be visiting from another country. You would be covered under this system. Which is a good thing. Which is a fucking good thing. And how it should be. Like, that is how it should be. Like, Benny Johnson is trying to be a smartass and be like, oh, you guys have universal healthcare over there, and your quality is bad because you have universal healthcare. Are you getting that universal healthcare yet? Are you enjoying that free healthcare, Piers? Are you enjoying it? And Piers Morgan's like, I actually have private insurance, but that shit's still based. So you know what? Fuck Piers Morgan most of the time. But I'm gonna give him this one. I'm gonna give him his cookies this one time. He ate that one thing. He said, I'm gonna stand on business, I guess. I didn't expect this from him. I'm actually genuinely surprised to see Piers Morgan take this stance and be like, Benny Johnson, you're stupid. That's genuinely a W for Piers Morgan. I hope he doesn't ruin it and make me eat my words in like 5 seconds here, but so far so good from Piers Morgan here.
That's the beauty of the NHS. You may not like it, but trust me, in that moment, you'll love it. But let's not.
Like he's right. Like, I mean, like I would probably make like a different argument, just being like, it's just healthcare is just a basic human fucking, thing, and it should be a basic human right. So should free education, but that's just my hot take. But it's decent from Piers Morgan. It's decent for the bar was in hell and you managed to pass it, so congratulations. So few do these days.
Everyone, we're happy that you're on the mend. I was very sad to hear about that. Very thankful that you're okay.
Thank you.
He doesn't even want to debate it. He doesn't even want to debate the healthcare. Because how do you debate free fucking healthcare? How do you debate it? I hate the argument of, oh, you'll get like bad healthcare. You'll get like bad whatever. It's just like, it's so like, bitch, fuck you. like you're just wrong. You're wrong. And even if that is like the case, no healthcare, subpar healthcare. I don't know. I mean, no healthcare, mediocre healthcare. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna take any amount of fucking healthcare I can get in that situation, rather than the absolutely no healthcare whatsoever, or healthcare but at the expense of thousands of dollars and my limbs. You know, like, come on, Benny Johnson. We're not even like 4 minutes into this thing, and you've already taken up a stupid position. I don't know. Being anti-free healthcare is just so funny to me. Like, why? Like, what do you gain from this? Are you bought and paid for by private healthcare? Are they signing your bills? Like, are they signing your paychecks? Like, what is it? What is it? Like, for real, what is it? What has you so committed to this?
I appreciate the message. Okay, look, Don Lemon, not a great friend of either of ours, can be very annoying, clearly lapping this up now like a dairy farmer milking the udder of a very large set of cows.
Damn, tell us how you really feel, Pierce. Fuck. He said fuck Don Lemon. He said if Don Lemon has one hater, it is me. God damn. Like, what the fuck? Do they have beef that I am unaware of? Is there some lore here? Pierce Morgan, what's going on? Do you need to duke it out or something? Like, do you need to hash this out? What are we doing? What's going on?
As you can't blame him, and he'll end up making him more famous, richer, and everything else. So completely cataclysmic own goal, I would argue, by the Trump administration. However, I've talked to a number of lawyers here, and it's a complex issue, actually, because Lemon's charged with violating an 1871 law originally designed to combat the Ku Klux Klan by conspiring to deprive others of their civil rights and violating the FACE Act by obstructing access to a house of worship. Now, the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act of 94 is a law signed by the former President Bill Clinton that makes it a federal crime to physically obstruct entry to clinics offering reproductive health services, but has now been adapted for this. So my question for you, Benny, is, we've all watched the footage. We've all seen what happened. Don was broadcasting it. To me, there is a qualitative difference between what the protesters were doing, which almost certainly did break the law, and what Don Lemon was doing, which was reporting on what they were doing. And if we don't make that distinction, then whether you're a journalist who skews left or right or down the middle, then the precedent this would set going forward is going to be horrific. So why should we be gleeful, as many on the conservative right are, about the prosecution of Don Lemon?
So I want to take this a couple different ways here, Piers. I mean, number one, I think you'd be having a very different conversation if Nick Fuentes stormed into a synagogue, wouldn't you? And started harassing the rabbi? Wouldn't you be having a different conversation if Alex Jones stormed a mosque?
Sure, but that's
right. You'd be
well, no, I would apply.
You'd be having a totally
comparing Don Lemon to Nick Fuentes is very funny. Like, Don Lemon obviously conducts himself with a level of professionalism which hinders him from being an actual fucking nuisance. Nick Fuentes does not have that same level of professionalism. Nick Fuentes is likely not just there to observe and report. He is likely there to instigate and escalate the situation. He literally played a part in busing people to January 6th. Did he not? I can't remember, actually. Did he? Am I thinking? Maybe I have him confused with Charlie Kirk, actually. Didn't they both, actually? Hold on. Yeah, he encouraged his followers to go. And then, yeah, he was subpoenaed by the January 6th committee. Yeah, so Nick Fuentes definitely. Oh, fuck. It's doing that again. All right.
You'd be saying this is terrible. Like, how dare you? I'm saying that Christians are treated differently in this country, and that Don Lemon.
It's a very good question.
Was there
no, I would say this.
On.
Benny, on that point,
let me just say also that's
let me
wrong.
answer you.
I would say all of the above are wrong. I just
Benny,
can I just make my point? I've just been talking for like 10 seconds.
Did Don Lemon go in there and harass the? No.
Let Benny finish his point.
Or did he?
But he did. I mean,
Yes.
look. Okay, so if you read did you read the federal filing? Did you read the grand jury indictment?
I watched the video.
Right, and they used the video.
It was all streamed, Benny.
They watched the video in the grand jury indictment. They used his own video as the evidence against him, along with a number of other, and along with all of the evidence that was provided by the churchgoers. I'm saying that all of the above is wrong, and that you can't do that. That these are places of worship. These are also private property. And that Don Lemon was part of a conspiracy to do this because Don Lemon was working with the organizers. He was delivering coffee to them. He was working with the actual individuals who were planning this. He said so on his live stream. And then he went up to the front of the pulpit and started harassing the pastor there at the front of the pulpit. Now, what was also happening was also, it's on video. So what was also happening here was that little children were being wrongfully imprisoned. Do you know this? Like little children were being wrongfully imprisoned. If you read the indictment, the children were being kept in their Sunday schools by the protesters, harassed, spit on, attacked. They weren't able to get to their parents. And Don Lemon says in the video, and thank you for mentioning this, Ethan, that is on video. Don Lemon says in the video, these children look traumatized. Well, actually, that's the point. This is an exact quote from his live stream. And so if you think that that's okay to do to like little children in a church or children in a synagogue or children in a mosque, I think it's all wrong. I think that these places of worship should be off limits for people protesting or attacking them.
Political operative.
It's not
his job is to lie.
Yeah, that's not what happened.
The administration.
That's
right. All right, let me bring Brian. Okay, hang on. Don't talk at once. Don't all talk at once. Let me get to Brian next. Brian, I do think Benny raised a good point. That's why I tried to answer his question in real time, but it was aimed at everybody, which is if that had been Alex Jones, who does a version of what Don Lemon does, but to the right, if he had gone into a mosque, for example, and he'd gone in with a group of protesters.
Like, I think saying that Alex Jones or Nick Fuentes does a version of what Don Lemon does is actually insane. Because they are not the same entity. Like, they are not both reporters. Like, Don Lemon, for all his flaws or whatever, is going to be objective. He is going to be a fairly unbiased, maybe not completely unbiased, but a fairly non-biased observer. Alex Jones, Nick Fuentes, they have a goal. They have a position in mind that they are trying to push. They have a agenda they are trying to push, and they are often there to instigate, to harass people, to escalate situations. Like, that is what they and their followers do. I mean, Alex Jones has basically lost everything because of what he did after Sandy Hook. I don't think we should be comparing these two as the same sort of like journalism. Like, it's not the same. It's just not. And I'm not even sitting here and being like one is so superior to the other. I mean, I do think one is superior to the other, but you can have your opinions, I guess, but it's just very obvious what Alex Jones or Nick Fuentes would be doing in this situation. So using them as an example is very just okay.
Who then interrupted the worship and traumatized young Muslim kids, right? Or whatever, an exact similar situation, but a mosque and it's Alex Jones. Can you say with all honesty, you would be out here defending Alex Jones?
Well, first of all, for full disclosure, I'm friends with Don Lemon. And to answer your question, Piers, If Alex Jones wasn't protesting, because Don Lemon wasn't protesting, Benny Johnson is lying when he says that Don Lemon harassed the pastor. If Alex Jones wasn't harassing anybody and didn't disturb anybody, I would be saying the same thing I'm about to say right now. Don Lemon was not protesting. He wasn't breaking the law. Maybe you could cite him for maybe trespassing. But the fact of the matter here is that this is not going to hold up in court. This is a charade. This is another example of the Donald Trump administration that is weaponizing the DOJ. And yes, I do think the color of his skin, certainly his politics and his sexuality have something to do with this. But you see, people like Benny Johnson, okay, who I do believe is a right-wing shill for Donald Trump, they're the first people after January 6th that called it a tourist visit. They patriots and hostages if you beat cops. But oh my God, Don Lemon didn't storm a church, by the way. He walked into the church, he took out his cell phone and he started recording. But to Benny, people like Benny, this is the worst thing in the world. Put him in jail. But yet when it comes to January 6th, if you beat cops, they're hostages and patriots. Benny, my advice to you is stop being a Donald Trump cuck and tell the truth and be honest for once in your life. I know you make a lot of money.
What about Steve Baker
every single day, but you're lying.
So wait a second. What about Steve Baker? So Steve Baker's a journalist for The Blaze. He was arrested for covering January 6th. So Steve Baker, was he just a journalist? Should he be freed? Are you in favor of Steve Baker being freed? Are you advocating for Steve Baker?
You see what Benny just did? The guy, his messiah, who he supports, Donald Trump, called those who beat cops with their own batons. Some of these cops have.
No, but answer his question, though, Brian. Brian, answer his question about Steve Baker.
Yes,
Steve Baker was sent to jail. Today's show is sponsored by Oxford Natural, makers of the Optimum Day and Optimum.
God, I'm gonna skip this stuff a little bit because can we get? I'm here to see if Ethan's gonna make a fool of himself or not.
Don Lemon's never been arrested. Quote.
Trying to.
You know, he's not doing much talking.
Better than the Democratic Party.
We don't want you, trust me.
Right, Ethan,
we
you've been waiting very patiently.
Claim you as a Democrat. And the reason for that.
God. Okay, I mean.
I'm a Trumpocrat. Respectfully,
I'm a Trumpocrat.
You're
because
probably
the
the most corrupt politician in modern
What the fuck is a Trumpocrat?
American history. I mean, you were sentenced to 14 years for attempting to sell a Senate seat. You were caught on wiretap
by the way, that charge
by the
was
FBI.
reversed by the appellate
closest
court.
you should be allowed to a microphone is the Starbucks drink order
conversations started by
I mean, why are you even here, Rod? Respectfully.
Why does he keep looking off screen? Because I don't believe Ethan just knew that fact off his head. He's definitely got, like, people... His crew is probably feeding him shit, or ChatGPT. I don't know which one. But... he's definitely reading something, right?
You are
precisely
a
the sort of thing that's wrong with our country.
person.
You should get your facts right, my friend.
What
Those are 3
facts did I get
fundraising
wrong there,
requests
Rod?
and no quid pro quo. Read the case.
Were you in prison? Were you found guilty of corruption?
I was
Were you found guilty of
wrongfully
corruption,
convicted for non-crimes by the use of jury instructions that were not crimes and sent to prison for 14 years, never took a penny because I fought back. And I fought back against this kind of weaponization.
You sure tried to take a penny.
You, in this particular case...
You said, quote, this seat is golden about the seat you are attempting to sell.
No, I said this seat is effing golden. I'm not giving up for nothing. We're going to make a political...
Like, how many times has he looked off screen? Like, I want to count, dude. I could start counting now, and it would probably still be a lot.
Deal because Obama asked to make a political deal. Get your facts right. And by the way, 98% of those FBI tapes are still covered up to this day.
The judge got the facts right.
You don't have the facts
Listen,
right. And
you got pardoned by Trump. You're out here glazing him up. We know the deal. But the truth is, don't sit here and act like you have any legitimate clout or you have no legitimacy in this world. You're a criminal. And you use the American democracy like a piggy bank. Like, again, the only microphone you should be near is Starbucks order. You know,
let me say this. I stood
7 times so far. 7 times so far.
To never give in to those weaponized prosecutors. What they did to me at the AAA level to a Democrat governor, the same kind of people did that same thing to President Trump at the major league level. And it's wrong if you do it to me. It's wrong if you do it to Trump. And it's wrong if you do it to Don Lemon. And it's wrong if you do it to Don Lemon. And the key to a democracy is an informed electorate.
Hold on.
You need to get your facts right, my friend, and get yourself informed.
You need to get your facts right,
Can I
sir.
add something?
I know my
Let's
facts.
not
I live
compare.
there.
Hold on.
The judge said,
let's not-
jail. The judge and
Let's
jury
not
said,
compare.
11 times. He's looked off screen 11 times since I started counting. And that, so honestly, we could probably add like 10 times before I started counting. So it's like 21 times so far in that little segment that he flipped off, that he, you know, cast his eyes off screen to clearly read something. Whether it was something provided by the crew or ChatGPT, I don't know. But he definitely, again, I don't think he just knew that information off the top of his head. Like, I don't think he knows who this man is. You think Ethan knows who this man is? I don't think he knows who this man is.
You.
They tried. Okay, they tried me twice.
That's you,
Let's
buddy.
not- you know what?
never been charged with a
All right,
felony.
guys.
Go ahead.
Nor
Guys,
have I
I
been
think
found
we're
guilty of
drifting.
one.
We are
But
drifting.
that being
We are
said,
drifting off.
respectfully, we're drifting.
We're drifting
So-
off topic.
And I'll say,
Ethan, let's get back to the topic.
I
want
agree.
to talk
So
about
he's
Don
saying
Lemon.
he agrees that Don Lemon shouldn't be arrested. So I'll say even this Trump lackey is willing to make that concession, where someone like Benny here, who, let's be real, his overlords go beyond Donald Trump. He's accountable to the Russians who paid him a nice, hefty, beautiful hundreds of thousands from Tenet Media. So
more than that.
Like, I'm so annoyed because fuck Ethan. But like I'm so annoyed because fuck, you know, fuck the Trump administration, fuck doing this to Don Lemon. I am on the side of, you know, not doing this shit to reporters. But Ethan is literally just here to attack these two, and that is his strategy. Like, he doesn't actually have a strategy about talking about the point. You know, like, he can't actually argue the point at all, even though it's a fairly easy point to argue. It's a violation of the First Amendment, what they did. He was there as a reporter. It is just a clear violation. He was there as a reporter. They're trying to hit him with some bullshit charges because they want to make an example out of him, and that's it. It's an easy argument to make, but Ethan is so stupid and so incompetent that he can't even make that argument. He has to rely on ChatGPT or his crew to feed him information about these two, like to feed him background information about these two people so that he can attack them on the basis of what they have done in the past, which I don't give a fuck. It's fuck Benny Johnson. It's fuck this guy. You know, like, I don't care. I think Benny Johnson sucks. So it's like, I don't really give a fuck if Ethan goes after him like this, but it does just make him look like he is unable to argue the points of the actual argument, which is insane because it's an easy argument to make. The argument is simply they were violating the First Amendment and they are trying to hit him with bullshit charges to make an example of him. That is it. That is it. That is the argument you need to make, Ethan. All you have to do is make the argument, Ethan. Oh my god. Dude. Fucking incredible.
Again, well, we don't know. Maybe Benny can tell us how much they paid him.
The DOJ said that I was victim of a crime.
I'm sorry.
The DOJ says Merrick Garland says I am victim of a crime in that. Me, Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, and a number of others.
So which is it? Are you
like so which are you smarter than
are you
smarter than the Biden DOJ? Talk about being an overlord, having an overlord lackey.
Or are you a traitor? Are you a traitor or a fool? Those are the two options.
All right, do you know what? The ad hominem stuff, Ethan.
It's not ad hominem, Pierce. That's what happened.
They're
fine. Listen,
it's total ad hominem.
They are ad hominem attacks.
I'm not attacking your person.
And I don't want to spend.
Recounting what happened.
I don't want to spend. With respect to everybody, I don't want to spend the entire panel talking about individuals on the panel.
Can we go back to Don Lemon?
Like, even Pierce has to be like, Ethan, shut the fuck up. Oh my god. No, he's just stupid. This man thinks he's so intelligent. He thinks he's such a fucking big shot. And it's just, he's got such an inflated fucking ego at this point. Such an inflated view of himself, view of his knowledge, of his skills. of his abilities. He lives in his own little world where he thinks that he can do anything and be anyone. And it just shows you how delusional he is. Like, he just thinks he can come in here and make these ad hominem attacks. They are ad hominem attacks. Again, I don't give a fuck about these two. It is fuck these two. I am on the side that Ethan is supposed to be arguing for. But Ethan isn't even arguing for it. He's just attacking Betty Johnson and this other guy in an attempt to make them look shitty, but it just makes him look shitty. He just looks like an idiot who can't argue his opinion. And it's the same fucking bullshit he tried to do with it. It's the same bullshit he did during his debate with Hassan, where he would try and go into these really stupid side points, side tangents, you know? And it was just like, why are you just not able to focus on the actual subject at hand, the actual topic you are supposed to be discussing? Is it because you're stupid? Is it because you don't actually know what you're talking about, Ethan? And you know that the moment you have to actually defend your position, it will become clear that you don't know what you're talking about? It's kind of giving that. It kind of seems like you're worried people are going to figure out that you're speaking bullshit and that you don't know what you are saying. Because, again, this is not even a difficult argument to make. The administration is in the wrong. They are violating Don Lemon's First Amendment right. He was there as a reporter. He was there to report. And they are trying to hit him with bullshit charges based on random little shit like, oh, he brought coffee to the protesters. So he was involved in working with them, and obviously it's a conspiracy. Like, that's bullshit and you know it. Fucking hell.
Just give me your...
Yes.
Ethan, just give me your assessment of what's happened with Don Lemon.
Gladly. So I agree with the majority on the panel that, I mean, he did nothing. He walked in there as a journalist, recording. He said, you guys are very keen to talk about what he said on camera, but you forget this one, Benny. He said, quote, I'm not part of the group. I'm a journalist. Talk about we, which is like a words game. It's semantics. But again, you go back to what he actually said, and it's, quote, I am not a part of the group. I am a journalist. So, you know, I think the whole conversation is just stupid at this point because it's like, it's so obvious that this was just done as a revenge, out of spite. It's political spite.
Pierce,
there's literally no question to it. And I think even Benny would agree. He's like, yeah, it's spite.
So, Pierce, you had...
Oh my God. I think Piers Morgan thought this was going to go better than it is. Like, I don't know what he was expecting. I don't know if he hasn't realized how far off the deep end Ethan Klein has gone at this point. But I think he thought that Ethan was going to actually be able to come in and sound coherent and sound like a human being who could form an argument. Because even when he's right, he still sounds like he's babbling. He still sounds like he's rambling. Like he was correct there. He was, the things he was saying, they were correct, but he didn't sound like he believed them. He sounded like he was unconvinced himself. Oh my God, it's so embarrassing. Like, I don't know how Ethan is not fucking embarrassed at this point. Also, hold on.
Had Valentina, if you recall, on your show about a month ago. I think we both agree she's despicable. She's running for office in Texas. Yeah. She went into a church. There's video of this a month ago. and she called the churchgoers pedophiles. They asked her to leave. Multiple people asked her to leave. I'm sure Benny's not talking about this, or he'll say, I don't know anything about that. But she didn't leave right away. It's all on video. She stormed a church. She called people pedophiles. Not only is she not arrested, but the DOJ is not even investigating this case. So this is a double standard at a minimum. Don Lemon didn't break any laws. He wasn't harassing anybody. I'm sorry if a few kids were crying and their church service was disturbed. I really am sorry about that. But I care a little bit more about Renee.
Yeah, also, that's like my hot take on this whole thing. I feel for the kids who were perhaps feeling, scared or whatever. But I don't think a protest should be a traumatizing experience for you. Like, if you're a kid and you see a protest and it's maybe not even like, it maybe things get even like a little bit rowdy, a little bit loud or something like that. Like, I don't know, you might be a little sheltered if that's a traumatizing experience for you. You might be just a little bit sheltered. You might need to get out of your bubble a little bit. You might need to go see the world a little bit. If seeing people protesting is a traumatizing experience for you that makes you upset to the point where you're crying, just seeing people, a group of people who are obviously displeased with something makes you feel like your life is in danger, then you're a little sheltered. You need to get out more. You need to talk to people. You need to get out into the real world more. You need to experience the real world more. You need to go to the city, okay? You need to go be in an urban area. Because, that's not normal. That's not like a normal response to seeing a protest, to be scared and crying. If your kid is having that reaction, you need to take them to New York City for a vacation. Get them out of the fucking get them out of the rural backwoods fucking middle of nowhere Kentucky or whatever. I don't know where the fuck you are, but get them to the city, okay? Get them to the city, get to LA, get to Chicago. I don't give a fuck, but just get them to the city, get them out of their bubble, get them out of their comfort zone, because you are creating a child who is going to be afraid of their own shadow, okay? Because it's not like it was a violent sort of thing. It's not like things got out of hand or anything like that. At most, people were maybe a little loud, okay? Things were maybe a little bit hectic, a little bit overwhelming. But even as someone who has extreme anxiety, I would not be crying, shitting, throwing up in that situation. I would not be on the news talking about how it was traumatizing me. So I think that is such a silly thing to me. The people who are think of the children. I am thinking of the children. And honestly, if the children got freaked out by this, they need to get out more. They need help. They need to see the world a little bit more. They need to see what the city is like. They need to see what being around a lot of people is like.
Goods family, and the fact that her kids are growing up without a mother, but people like Benny don't want a full investigation into that. Let's call these people who were murdered domestic terrorists.
Gravity in on himself. He's going to use this for.
Not a narcissist. The narcissist is the orange turd who you support because you wear the Donald Trump knee pads 24/7. So don't talk about my friend like that.
Attacks. That's right. Got it. More pejorative attacks.
You're right. You want to talk about criminal journalists, Benny? I mean, let's start with you, buddy.
No, let's not go down those roads again.
How much they pay you? We really need to know.
Let's not get into this. I don't want to get into individual panel members. Let's try and keep.
Don Lemon will not be charged. Don Lemon will not be convicted. I guarantee you, Don Lemon will not be convicted.
It's so awkward, even when he's trying to do this shit. Oh my god. I didn't know you could make dunking on Benny Johnson look cringy, but you did it, Ethan Klein.
convicted of these crimes. He will be exonerated in a courtroom.
I think you're probably
attorney.
right.
He's going to be fine.
I think you're probably right. But I think
He
also
falls
Don
quiet
Lemon,
when
I've been
Russian
watching
money
his
comes
output. I've been watching Don's output in the last few days, and he's gone full on Trump derangement madness. I mean, it's just he's just
anti-Trump.
effing and blinding about
I mean,
Trump.
Don Lemon
And by
said,
the way,
Don
it's
Lemon
fine.
said, okay, I wasn't
he's
planning on
making,
going
he's
here, but
making
Don
a
Lemon-
financial play.
Don
He's making a
Lemon
financial
said that
play,
he
but
went
let's be
after
under
this
no
church.
illusion.
He went on Jen
Don's
Welsh's
raison
podcast.
d'etre now is to be the #1 Trump hater in the world media. That's fine. But let's not pretend that's not what he's doing.
He went on Jen
didn't say
Welsh's
that.
podcast afterwards and said he's going after this.
I mean, like, why shouldn't he? If the Trump administration came after me for doing my goddamn job, I too would become the #1 Trump hater in America and would love to be known as that. Are you kidding me? Like, yeah, fuck it. You came after me for doing my fucking job. Fuck it. Yes, I am the #1 Trump hater in America now. Eat shit, motherfucker.
church because of white supremacy, because the parishioners were white. Are you in favor of that? You know, this is like a hate crime.
I'll answer
right?
that.
Like,
I'll answer that.
Are you in
I'll answer
favor of that?
that.
He said it. There's multiple clips of him
You call it a
saying
black
this.
hole if you want to talk about hate crimes.
That's a
So,
that's a
first
space
of all,
term. That's like that's a term. That's something that exists in the
Is
galaxy.
that rhetorical? Can I answer? Because I asked him about this because he's done my show probably 5 times in the last month. So he believes there is something in this country called white privilege, Benny. You have it and I have it. He does believe there are some cases in the church or in America where there is white supremacy. Now, I know you probably believe there isn't anything in the, like Tucker Carlson, that white privilege doesn't exist in this country and white supremacy doesn't exist. But the fact of the matter is, Benny, is that it does. Now, I would like to go back to the black hole comment. What did you mean by that when you made that statement?
I'm surprised you didn't call him a gay black hole.
Black hole is something that it exists in space and time, and it absorbs gravity. And so it's just something that Don Lemon is going to take the gravity of the situation and use it to become more powerful. That's what I've said, and I said that the Trump administration has to be very careful in charging this, because this is what people do in these kind of circumstances.
Okay.
If you're Don Lemon,
Benny, I'll tell you what he won't do.
background.
Sure. So, Benny, I'll tell you what Don Lemon won't do. He won't make billions of dollars in a crypto scandal. He won't build a ballroom for his own financial gain. Jared Kushner, one of his friends, won't be taking $2.1 billion from the Saudis. So if you want about taking power over and having power and taking advantage of it, sure, Don Lemon's going to be more successful because of this. But do you know why? Because of the buffoons in the White House that decided to charge this guy. And I think most of us agree on this panel, it's not going to hold up in a courtroom. So if you have anybody to blame for this, it's not Don Lemon. It's the morons like Pam Bondi and Donald Trump that did this to Don Lemon, which will help him more in the long run. But please don't talk to me and lecture me about power and then taking advantage of that when Donald Trump does it.
I find this amazing what you just admitted here, and I'm trying to be respectful as you're rambling. So you just said that it's okay that Don Lemon attacked this church because they're white?
So first of all, Don Lemon made...
Yeah, sure. Fuck it. I'll say it. Yes. I don't give a fuck. Like, what is going to happen? What is going to happen? Actually going to happen to the church because of Don Lemon's words? Nothing. Nothing. Literally nothing. So fuck it. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Sure. I don't even think that's what he said. I don't know what he actually said, but fuck it. Sure. I don't give a fuck, Benny. I think Ethan has pretty much demonstrated his capabilities here. He doesn't really have any.
Dude,
does that bother you? Just answer the question.
Barack Obama's White House counsel, Catherine Rummler, is all over the Epstein files, including attempting to set up meetings with Obama while he was
Let me rephrase that question.
She was getting lavished with gifts. She was getting lavished with gifts.
Notice how he won't answer the question.
Lavished with gifts
Benny,
by Jeffrey
please,
Epstein. Yes.
Let me ask you a question.
Answer the question. Does it bother you?
Don't all talk at once. Don't all talk at once. I would ask Ethan this question. I'd phrase it slightly differently. I've not seen anything, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but where is the damning evidence that Donald Trump continued to consult with Epstein post his conviction, because that is the line I draw with all of these high-profile people. You can say.
I think that's a stupid line to draw because I think it's very obvious that everybody knew what the fuck Epstein was getting up to. Like, I don't think you could know Epstein and not know what he was into. He didn't hide it. Those emails might as well have been like, hey man, do you want to come to my pedophile island tomorrow? I'm gonna have a pedophile party on my pedophile island. We can do pedophilia together. Do you want to come? Like, that might as well be a fucking email from Jeffrey Epstein. Like, his emails were not very cryptid, okay? They were not much more complicated than that.
What you like. But I mean, for example, take Elon Musk, right? If Elon Musk said, which is entirely believable, that he had no idea about Epstein's conviction. This is what...
Oh my god. Okay, I think I'm done with this. I don't really care. Ethan's been pretty... What's the word? Stupid. Pretty stupid. Yeah, he was pretty stupid and all of that. I think I'm gonna end the stream here. It's been pretty quiet night. This was a very short stream, but I gotta be up early tomorrow, and I got some other shit I want to work on, so we're gonna wrap this up. I did not get to gaming yet again, unfortunately, but maybe Sunday. And I don't really have anything else to say. I'm just gonna dip out. Check y'all later. Peace, love, and all that shit. Check out my links down below. Sudan donation links. And that's really all I got for you. So please take care of yourself. Free Palestine. And goodbye.